Hi guys, I've got book club this evening, and part of book club is we all contribute a bit of a potluck and we make dinner. So I am cooking a vegetable lasagna, and I've got my mushrooms and my aubergines and my peppers and my courgettes, and I'm chopping. So I thought I'd come on live while I'm chopping and just share with you the last 10 days, because it's been a freaking roller coaster. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that we're not supposed to, in society, talk about bereavement and loss, because we don't do that. So when people have a miscarriage, they haven't actually told anybody that they were pregnant in the first place, because you know what society says. You're not supposed to tell anybody that you're pregnant until 12 weeks, because you might lose the baby. And I'm calling bullshit on that, because I've had a really shitty week. And this is actually our second miscarriage in 3 months, which is really tough to take. So my hormones are up and down, bleeding like a bloomin' whatever. And if I hadn't told everybody that I was pregnant, I would have missed out on so much love this past week, so much love. Because I told everyone at 6 weeks, we went for a scan and there was a lovely heartbeat, and I told everyone that we were pregnant. And I said, you know, we're really freaking excited. And people jumped on, they're like, oh, this is brilliant news, another baby, how superb. So then 3 weeks later, when we found out that we'd lost the baby, I put a Facebook post on and I said, baby's gone, the baby's no more. She didn't continue to develop. And I had hundreds of people coming onto Facebook, messaging me privately, sending me cards and gifts and flowers and love. If I hadn't told anybody that I'd been pregnant, I would have got none of that love and support. I would have had to handle it alone. And miscarrying is horrible. I don't know if you've ever done it, but it's really horrible. It lasts a really long time. And I would have had none of that love and support. So I am calling bullshit on not telling anybody until 12 weeks. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm on here. I thought to myself, do I talk about my miscarriage on Facebook Live on my business page? Do I do it? Because I've done it on my personal page. Do I actually, am I brave enough to do that? Well, I'm here today chopping vegetables in front of you doing that. Because I just think, you know, we need to be supported through these times in our lives. It's not all about the happy days. It's not all about, you know, me running around my garden with my ducks, helping people with their businesses. It's not all about, you know, the big, glorious celebrations. It's also about working with people through the tough times in their lives and the sad times in their lives. So this is me calling BS on not sharing about miscarriages. Now, one of the things that I really loved about last week was that in the midst of my miscarriage, I realised that I wasn't going to be able to work. But I'm self-employed. So how the hell do you do that? How do you stop working? When you're employed, you go to your employer and you have a meeting and he closes the door and you say, I've just miscarried, I need to be off work for 2 weeks. That's what you do when you're employed, right? And he says, I'm so sorry, take all the time you need. And off you go. You go home, you sit in front of Grey's Anatomy, you rest, you recuperate, you cry, and it all happens. And you don't feel the guilt of not going to work. You don't feel the guilt of being off because you've been signed off. But when you're self-employed, you've got lots of clients who expect you to show up. You've got lots of clients who need you there, supporting them. They might be on the verge of launching their business. You can't plan a miscarriage. You don't know what day that's going to happen on. And if they're launching their business on that day, what the hell do you do? How do you not feel really shitty about calling them and saying, I can't help. I can't launch your Facebook advert campaign. I can't launch your, you know, all your landing pages and everything today because I'm a mess. I'm crying in a pool of my own mushy tears. How do you have that conversation? How do you say, I'm letting you down? Because that's how it felt last week. Felt like I was letting people down. And I'm just, you know, I'm out the other side. I'm back to work today. Yesterday was still a really bad day. I'm glad I have Savannah and Nicola around me because they're bloody awesome. Yesterday was still a really bad day, but I'm back to work today. And last week, I kept postponing meetings because I thought I'd be fine. So I said to people, okay, I can't have a meeting on Wednesday, but can we do Thursday instead? I'm going to take Wednesday off. I gave myself 1 day off, which is crazy. And then on Thursday, I'm still feeling dreadful. So I then had to message everybody and say, I'm really sorry, I can't do Thursday either. And you know what? Can I not do Friday either? And I'll see you next week. I felt like I kept letting people down because I wanted to be back to normal. I wanted to be back to Jodie energy and helping people and helping them launch and do their Facebook advert campaigns and all the rest of it. I didn't want to say, I'm taking a whole week off. I couldn't say, I'm taking a whole week off. I couldn't say it. There was something weird going on and I couldn't say it. Instead of just saying on Sunday night, messaging everybody that was expecting me that week, I've lost my baby, I'm going to be out for 10 days. Couldn't say it. I kept needing to say, I'm not okay today, but I might be okay tomorrow, so bear with me. And you know what? It probably would have been less annoying for my clients if I said I'm off for 10 days, because then they planned, don't they? Instead of kept thinking that they were going to get some of me last week. But every single one of my clients, to a person, every single one of my clients was amazing. Jodie, take all the time you need. Rest. You need to look after you. You need to recover. Don't rush this. You need to go and rest. Every single one. Now, don't get me wrong. I am in a business where I can be really selective about who I work with. I only work with heart-centered people. I only work with people who I'm energetically aligned with. You know, that's a very important part of my business. And it's something that I'm very, very straight about. You know, I don't want to work with people who are merely transactional. I want to work with heart-centered people. So it's not a surprise to me that every single client was freaking awesome last week, but I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. I thought at least somebody would say, but we're supposed to be launching this week, Jodie, where are you? Or just some kind of comment that would make me feel the guilt that I was feeling was valid. Nobody did. Nobody validated my guilt. Everybody said, don't worry about it. And I was saying, oh, but hopefully I'll be back on Friday. And they were saying, well, don't even worry about Friday. If you're good on Friday, brilliant. If you're not, don't even worry about it. So last week for me was a bit of a shitty week. You know it was, but it was incredibly validating and beautiful. The clients I work with, the gorgeous people that I work with who support me as much as I support them. And I even had one client say, Jodie, you over-deliver all the time. So if you under-deliver this week, you're still in credit. And I thought that was a really good way of looking at it. But man alive, what a week. And facing the guilt of self-employment was a big thing for me last week. So I just want to say to you, if you were involved in my week last week, thank you for your beauty and your support and your love and your gorgeousness. But also thank you for letting me just take time for me, because I found it incredibly difficult to switch off, but I found it really easy when all of you were so gorgeous. So I'm now moving on to the aubergine, and I will finish my vegetable lasagna for our book group this evening, and I will write 1,000 pages, because I didn't write 1,000 pages last week, because I was sitting in my bed watching Grey's Anatomy. So yeah, thank you for joining me today, and thank you for your not telling people that you're pregnant. Tell people you're pregnant. Share the joy, because it's really exciting, isn't it? Share the joy so that you can then share the pain if you need to. And hopefully you won't need to share any pain because it will all be marvellous. But it's a lot nicer to go through miscarriage with people loving you and supporting you and sending you gorgeous things of, you know, love and messages and awesomeness than it is to do it alone and to pretend that you're not upset. How horrible is that? So big loves, everybody. I'm looking forward to this lasagna later. And yes, so this message was just to say thank you to you all because you're bloody gorgeous and I love you. Speak to you soon. Bye.